Hello everyone, this is Zebo and welcome to today's Who to Poo video. With the second anniversary coming, we'll be getting a grand total of 120 free summons, as well as a bunch of freebies that is from the roadmap event, as well as the Loki event, which will grant us even more summons for the hero as well as their EX weapon. So in today's Who to Poo video, we'll run through the 9 units in the hero banner, and they are namely Mad Panda Trio, Camel, Arena, Khana, Lilith, Future Princess, Priscilla, Rue, and Mira. So there's gonna be a lot for me to talk about, and without further ado, let us just jump straight into today's content. Okay, so first let us start with the second anniversary unit, which is Party Crasher Mad Panda Trio. So my personal experience with this unit is that this unit is amazing, both for PvE as well as PvP content. However, is this unit as top tier as the likes to Camel? Probably not, but this unit is in a good position because this unit is more towards the control of the player, because timing your 1-for-all ability, as well as chaining your chain skill at the correct timing. After a 1-for-all ability, you use your chain skill, and then your 1-for-all will be recharged, and then you can use it again, and that will instantaneously grant you a bunch of damage negation from the special ability, as well as a defense boost for this unit. So this will make this unit really good if you're able to time your stuff correctly. And on top of that, right, when you use this hero with their EX weapon, which I think most people will do, if you take a look at the EX weapon, it allows you to get a drill attack. So this drill attack might not be like a super big part to a lot of people, but it does, number one, a lot of damage, and number two, it does a bit of repositioning for this unit. So it allows you to chase better, and it allows you to reposition yourself to dodge a few ticks from certain units' weapon skill. So there's always this utility to this kit, and personally I really love this unit so far, running it in arena. And one thing about this unit is that this unit excels both in small maps as well as big maps, because it's a tanky melee unit, so it's good for top fight in a small map. And the ability for it to like change to the Party Crasher form, to throw out its mace in a semi-range form, as well as having a really big AoE attack, makes it such that this unit is not that easily kiteable, even in maps which are traditionally very unfavorable for melee units. So that's one thing I like about Mad Panda Trio. And if you talk about this unit in the 3v3 team deathmatch setting, I think I don't need to say too much, because this unit has a bunch of AoEs, so it's gonna do really well in that game mode as well, right? With the insanely big swinging mace weapon skill, you're able to hit multiple targets if they do decide to climb up, and being a tanky unit with the ability to negate damage also helps with surviving in that game mode as well. So overall, top tier unit for the PvP side. And for the PvE side, in terms of the raid, I think Mad Panda Trio is not really an amazing unit, because it doesn't really have a buff, it doesn't really have a debuff to make it a valuable teammate in the guild raid setting. But in terms of game modes which requires you to clear multiple enemies all at the same time, with the rise of Expedition, with the rise of defensive co-ops being tougher and more challenging with like every single update, I think personally Mad Panda Trio is a good unit to invest in if you're somebody who looks at general versatility with decent power level. So yeah, may not be the best raid unit, but definitely a good PvE unit nonetheless. And being a really strong PvP unit makes it such that you're probably able to use it and slot this unit into multiple teams if you have the heroes built up. Next up, we have God of Harvest Camel. So if you haven't gotten Camel in your hero pool and you are really new to the game, and you don't really know about how powerful Camel was when he was initially released, then this part is for you, right? Camel is by far one of the strongest unit in the game. He's also uber versatile. He can be used in almost any game modes, right? Expedition, raid, co-op, 3v3, arena, Colosseum, Camazon land, any game mode, you name it, he does it, right? He's just that amazing. And other than being just versatile, this unit is really powerful as well, right? It has amazing stats, really high attack, defense, and HP. At least I'll say like top 20 in each of the category, which is crazy considering how many units we have. And other than having amazing stats, this unit is also able to attack multiple targets all at the same time when you have the EX weapon equipped. So you're able to attack 3 enemies with the normal attack whenever you have the EX weapon equipped. And it also allows you to immediately reduce the range defense of your enemy whenever you attack with your Circle of Life. So if you do not have the EX weapon, this unit is able to apply a debuff on its last attack to reduce the enemy's range defense. However, if you have the EX weapon, he's able to apply the range defense debuff immediately. And other than that, he's also able to heal your whole team's HP, and this heal is a percentage based heal. So if you have the special ability unlocked, you're able to heal up to 5% HP whenever you shoot out the concentrated orb. So 5% HP for all your allies over an extended period of time equates to a bunch of healing numbers in the Colosseum, and that's why you can see Camel being one of the very prevalent unit in that game mode very well. So that's one thing going for Camel. And another thing for Camel is that its chain skill is really easy to achieve. The Kamehameha wave from its EX weapon is pretty insane. You can see that the numbers on the DPS as well as the numbers on the chain skill and stuff, right, is not very high. But there's a reason for that, because Camel is able to chain really easily, and with the insanely high attack stat as well as the range defense debuff, all this stacking allows Camel to just burst you down even if the chain skill has low damage number. And other than just dealing damage, right, the chain skill also has utility to remove negative debuffs as well as restore more HP. So Camel is a tanker, a damage dealer, a debuffer that excels at all sorts of game modes. So yeah, if you haven't gotten him yet, you probably should. And with Era as well as AA72 being like really strong arena unit, Camel, even though has been sort of weakened with the introduction of like a ton of fire units and a lot of other really strong units, is still one of the top tier range unit in that game mode itself. So that's one thing going for Camel. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like staying around for a bit. Like even if he falls off in certain game mode, he will still be very usable in every other game mode. So that's one thing going for him for sure. And if you haven't gotten him yet, and if you are really new to the game, try to get Camel. He will definitely make your story mode journey a lot easier when you first start off the game. Okay, next up we have legendary hero Arena. So Arena, as her name suggests, is a very PvP arena centric unit. So she's very strong in arena, very versatile, top tier, and very flexible in terms of team building. So if you're somebody who enjoys the game mode and you want a really strong defensive unit for that, then this unit is the one that you should go for. However, if you put her in the PvE setting, I think she's kind of mediocre, like not really good, because her kit is very like player versus player centric. If you look at the special ability, is increased resistance to ailments. So in this case, it's more towards being chained in arena than anything else. So other than that, not really good. Like doesn't really have a way to actually buff your whole team's damage, and doesn't really provide a debuff as well. And other than that, right, this unit is a defense buff, so not gonna be really good for boosting your team's damage, and that's why not a good PvE unit in general. Okay, so moving to the fourth unit, we have Druid Khana. So Khana is a unit that excels both in the PvP as well as the PvE game mode. However, the biggest problem with Khana is this party buff. So she's strong, but only really good in basic teams, right? Because the party buff is basic attack. If you slot her into any other teams, then the effect is not as good. Because why is she amazing in PvE content, which includes basic teams? Because first of all, she's able to apply a debuff. So any unit that applies a debuff is amazing for raid. And she's also able to boost your whole team's basic attack by 30% for 5 seconds whenever she uses her chain skill. And like if you look at her kit, right, her special ability provides defense, or rather damage reduction, and also movement speed increase. So this makes her a very good hit and run arena unit as well. And she's definitely proven to be usable in the basic melee team. And yeah, that's why I say she's good in PvE as well as PvP content. However, like I mentioned, if you're not that into forming a mono element, if you're not not into like the basic teams in general, then I think Khana is a very skippable unit. And yeah, that's pretty much my opinion about Druid Khana. Okay, so the next unit is Demon Queen Lilith. So similar to Khana, both of them has massive assets, and they're also really versatile in terms of the PvP as well as the PvE contents. So we talk about the PvE side first. She has a defense reduction, so the Darkness Spike is able to deal damage and reduce your enemy's defense. So any unit with this ability, amazing for it. And she's also able to do quite a big amount of damage, 390% DPS from the chain skill, and also restore the HP of all your allies by 20% if you have the emblem attached to the enemy. So yeah, Lilith is really versatile in that. And lastly, right, this is the part where she's a lot better than Khana. So she is a melee damage buff, which means that you can slot her into your dark melee team, you can slot her into your fire melee team, or any other future melee teams that are gonna come out with the introduction of more heroes. So yeah, this unit is just way more versatile compared to Khana. And if you talk about the PvP side, right, just now like I mentioned, Arena is one of the top tier arena units. So Arena is basic, and Lilith is one of the best counter to Arena because she's able to chain her in 2 weapon skills and is able to deal massive damage. So yeah, just an amazing unit overall. She's one of the most consistent unit ever since her release. Like, she's just good in so many game modes, and she's just really good at doing what she does. So that's why I love Lilith, and even till this date, I'll still recommend newer players to pull for her. However, if you compare her to Camel, I think Camel will be slightly higher in terms of priority, because Camel just does so many things way better in the range side of things. So yep, that's my take about Lilith, and let us move on to the next unit, which is Future Princess. So Future Princess is a really good unit, right? Like, she was the previous Camel level unit, very versatile in various game modes. But I strongly won't encourage you guys to pull for her if you haven't gotten her yet, because she's gonna be a free unit in the World Clear Pass, as you'll be able to get her once you clear World 9. So she's just right over here. So if you haven't gotten her yet, try to reach World 9 and you'll get her for free. So there's really no need for you to pull for Future Princess. And you can even top up to get her EX weapon. So her EX weapon is also very skippable with the free pulls given, as well as the different anniversary freebies. So yeah, that's my take about Future Princess, and let us move on to our next unit. Okay, next up we have my horny waifu, half vampire Priscilla. So this unit, similar to Arena, is a top tier PvP unit with a very good player versus player kit. And yeah, she's amazing in Arena. So if you want to build a really solid Arena team and you want a really hot single horn waifu, then Priscilla is definitely the pick for you. However, similar to Arena, she's also not that good in your PvE contents, because she doesn't offer much to boost the damage of your team, and she doesn't really offer much in terms of hitting multiple targets all at once other than her weapon skill. So she's not going to be that good in Expedition, and like I mentioned earlier, she's not going to be good in Raid because she doesn't boost the damage of your whole team. So that's my take about my horny waifu. Nonetheless, I think she's one of the hottest units to date in terms of elegance as well as design. So pull for her if you like her white hair, horns, as well as her really hot figure. And moving to our second last unit on today's list, we have Santa's Little Helper Rue. So similar to Khana, Rue is limited by her party buff, which is range attack plus 50%. So you're probably gonna see her only really in like Earth range teams. But different from Khana, Rue is a beast altogether, because Rue is amazing in Arena. In fact, she's one of the reasons why the Mono Earth team is so obnoxious, because with the range buff that Camel can provide to her, as well as the creep buff that Mira can provide to her, she's able to do a bunch of damage. And she's also very tanky just off her kit, because she's able to charge at the enemy to inflict damage and also reduce the target's attack. And at the same time, her special ability allows her to reduce the damage taken by 30%. So even if she doesn't have the highest of HP, she does have a really high defense and a really good kit, which allows her to survive longer and go toe to toe with a lot of units in the game. So yeah, she's pretty much sort of like shadow nerfed, with more OP fire units being introduced in the game. But the mono earth team, which consists of Ru, Mira and Camel, is still a force to be reckoned with in the arena setting. So pull for Ru if you want to use her in the arena. In terms of raid side, I think Ru is definitely usable because you can stack her up with other range earth units like the likes of Camel, Bari, Muriel, Tinia, and she works fine as well. So that's one thing for her. Definitely not the best raid unit, but usable. And yeah, that's my take about Ru. Pull for her if you want a mono earth team, if you want some mono earth toxicity. But if not, I think she's quite skippable because she's a very simple and like brainless unit. Nothing too creative about her. You basically charge at the enemy and man fight them and hope that you win the battle. So yeah, that's basically my thought about Ru. And then let's move on to the last unit of today's list, and that is Divine Beast of Harvest, Mira. So Mira, before the change to her special ability, was already a top tier unit for a few reasons. Number one, if you take a look at her EX weapon ability over here, I'll show you guys. So Solaris allows Mira to increase her movement speed and reduce earth type resistance whenever she deals a crit hit. So her party buff is crit chance, so dealing crit hit is super easy with Mira, and you can overlap this effect up to 4 times, so effectively 20% movement speed boost as well as 20% of type resistance down. So that's one thing that makes her really versatile and good in the arena and raid setting. And other than that, right, she also has a massive chain skill number, 400% DPS, and like the special ability just push her to the next level, because whenever you pair her with any earth type heroes, you're able to further increase her damage output by 30%. So you have to factor in a few factors. Number one, her damage output. Number two, the earth damage resist down that she applies to the enemy, which in turns allows her to deal more damage. Number three, her high crit hit chance, or rather her crit hit numbers, because she has a crit hit chance party buff, so she's going to crit a lot more. And obviously, if you're able to, you know, deal a crit with the special ability unlock as well as maximum earth resist down on your chain skill, Mira is pretty much able to bring down nearly anyone in the mono earth team setting. So that's why the mono earth team is just insane. One blast from Mira's weapon skill will just boom, half your HP is gone. So yeah, it's crazy. And even nowadays, even if like you don't see Mira as often, I think she's just generally a very versatile unit. I think the only thing that is lacking for Mira is her inability to hit multiple enemies, which is AoE, right? In like the expedition game mode as well as defensive co-op. So maybe in those game modes, Mira is not as good. So this is very similar to Ru as well. So Ru and Mira, they are very good like arena 1v1 based type of unit, but both of them kind of lack like AoE stuff. So they might not be that good in expedition or defensive co-op if those are things that you're looking at. But you know, if you take that out of the picture, Mira is good in raid, Mira is good in arena, very good in 3v3 because she can run around and blast your enemies. And to a certain extent, I think she's good in Colosseum because you can see her being ran in the mono earth team for Colosseum. And yeah, she does her job there by blasting the enemies really well. So that's pretty much it for Mira. Personally, if you are building an earth unit, Camel is your number 1 pick. Mira is your number 2 pick, and you want to finish up with Santa's Little Helper Ru to complete your mono earth toxicity within the arena setting. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this who to build video. Generally, all these units are really good, but if you want like the most versatile 2 units on today's list is none other than Demon Queen Lilith, as well as obviously your God of Harvest Camel. And if you're more towards the arena side, I think Arena is amazing. Priscilla is amazing as well, right? And Princess is also very amazing in terms of versatility, but don't pull for her because you get her for free from the battle pass. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.